All right, it's 4:30. Ryan said to get here early because we're Florida and it's hot, so he's here.
I don't have that much time. We're getting it done. So let's get it done. No, it's not. This is my temporary AR. I'll lay it out right here on the table. It's 21 3/4. I gotta get the ball joint for the front end. I have that. Put that there, and we'll draw it on here, and then we'll weld it together. Then we'll bring it outside. Hopefully it'll work. It'll work. Has to work. I've measured it twice. It's 35 1/4 between those ears. And 19 inches. It's an easy number to remember. 19 inches from the back. 19 inches and 35 1/4. Alright, let's go draw that on the table. What we're trying to do today is make the A-arm, like mock-up A-arms, so we can cycle it up and down like we did with the stock A-arms, because they were obviously too short. We made that whole template up with the CAD drawing and all that. And so what I want to do today is just make some mock-up stuff out of this junk stuff I have laying around here, and we're gonna be able to put the wheel back up in there and cycle it all the way up and down and make sure everything's gonna work where I want it. And if not, we can take those measurements and then make it work right. So that's the plan for today. That's the goal for today. At least get the top one done, and the bottom one I'm just going to make really use part of the stock stuff and just stick it underneath there because I have to make a lower cross member. But got both the upper cross members in around the engine. It's going to be real fun getting that engine ever out again, if that ever comes to be. But it'll be all right. It's only got 20,000 miles on it. It's like new. So that's the goal for today. Right now we got, between our cross members was 30, what did I write down here? 35 1/4. So, and it was 19 inches from where I want the center of the wheel to the back cross member. That's the front edge, the square tube triangle looking cross members that I made a little while back. So I got 19 inches from, that would be the inside of that one. And it's 35, and I say again, 35 1/4. Okay, so that would be the inside of the forward cross member. What we're going to have to do is probably kick the A-arms straight right here a little bit and then bring it over, and this is where I want the ball joint to be. That's off of that CAD drawing, so you can see the A-arms are going to be pretty long A-arms, and they're going to wrap around the engine like that. So that's why they're kind of crazy looking, but this will be able to give us that amount of lift and be able to go all the way back up to stock height. So it'll three-wheel. I got the two beams in there, but where the two beams are in the center of where I want the wheel, it might be like, you know, longer on the front, shorter on the back. They're still going to be the same distance out, but I have to go try to figure that out. I'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. Okay, I have this screw-in ball joint. Basically what that means is this part here you can weld to your control arm and you just screw the ball joint in. These you can get from Speedway. So it makes it real easy to make an A-arm. I can't find one for the bottom, but I have these here. How great's that? So I'll clean these up, but we'll use these because even to make the upper arm, it's going to be a lot easier to use this. The bottom, I'm going to have to cut this out and figure out a way to make that attached to my A-arm, but that'll be all right. That'll make it really easy, so I'm going to use that. Booyah. Look at that. We might have to figure out, you know, pitch this at a different angle depending on where it fits in there. But for today, we'll just make it straight because then we can measure off of what we've done. Let's see how that works. But over here now, we're gonna have to this arm has to come on the inside of that. There's gonna be a plate on, like, because that square tube is basically right here, but it's on an angle like this. So we're gonna make an ear that's gonna come off of here. So I'll make this bar come, the A-arms are gonna look like that and then come over. Kind of like an A-arm. So let's figure out that, but kind of looks, where's that at? I don't know. I don't know if that's centered or not. Like, centered like that. Well, I guess we could measure that. Now I'm curious. No, it's not. It's 16 1/4 and 19. So it's shifted forward a little bit. Doesn't matter. I just need to make sure this puts the wheel in the center of the wheel well. It's really hard to measure that because it's like 2.5 feet from the frame to the wheel well, and even more from over here. So it's very hard to measure that. But what can I say? It's gonna get real hectic. All right, what we're gonna do, that's the pivot on that line. So basically it's gonna be like that. We're gonna make this stick out, I don't know, about, well, let's measure it so I make them both the same. 3/4 of an inch. We're just gonna put a 3/8 hole there, cut it 7 inches. And if I don't like it, when we make the real ones, they don't have to be like that. They can be, but it's gonna be on, I'm gonna cut a little angle because I'm trying to get it back over to here. I don't know what that angle is, and I'm not measuring it because this is all going in the garbage when I'm done. So I'm gonna cut that, and then we'll flip this over, we'll connect that, and we'll make that one about the same. So we'll have 2 of them the same, something like that.
So Ryan's in there welding up the mock-up A-arms, and I kind of can't wait to see how it's going to work underneath this thing. I mean, those A-arms are huge, but they'll fit under there and hopefully have so much travel that this thing will go just from stock height all the way to the ground.
That's a beefy A-arm right there. I think not. We'll go with something a little more substantial on the real deal, but here's the engine. We'll see how this works. But this will be, we'll be able to figure everything out off of this. Well, everything that we couldn't figure out off our CAD drawings, we'll be able to figure out by mocking this up. This is really good. This ain't taking too long. Go ahead and tack that on. Stick that in the water and cool it off. That's a massive A-arm. It's like a farm implement. The real deal will be made out of, I don't know yet, maybe like 1.25 inch. It'll be round tube because they'll look cool.
Titanium.
No, we're thinking steel, probably 1/4 inch wall, something really heavy duty. It's a dually truck basically. It's an RV. This is the only thing. I think I might have to, like, this might have to shoot up and then come down to clear the frame when it goes down. And this thing here, it depends. I don't know yet. I might have to like change the angle of that ball joint to optimize the amount of angle that we can have with that ball joint. You know, I don't want it to bind up at the top and then have like a whole bunch more extra room at the bottom, or vice versa. So, but that's easy enough to just pitch that up. So this is super easy to just whip out real quick, so we can put it in there and actually see all those things. Because without computerized stuff, that's hard to do. But it's easy when you just mock it up. You don't need all that stuff.
And hopefully we'll be putting it in pretty quick.
Yeah,
I'm getting bored here.
I'm working on it, right?
I think I'm just shooting the ceiling too. I don't really know how to do this vlogging stuff. I have to get some pliers to get that all the way down, but you get the idea. It just screws in and then you got a ball joint. How cool is that? And it's got the Moog part number right here on top. Problem solver. Get it to focus.
It looks like it's a 39. I guess that's what it is, but it's a Moog. I'm sure I can get another one if need be. I wish I could do this for the bottom, but this is the biggest screw and ball joint I was able to find. I'm trying to find this taper, and the bottom ball joints are actually bigger than the top, so I don't know. We're gonna have to use the stock one. This one has a lot more angle too than the bottom one, but I wasn't able to find anything better for the bottom, so we're gonna go with it. Let's see, those are our cross members we put in. It made the other day, like the other month, but
see them.
They were a pain. This one especially pain to get in, get everything straight. I think I got it. So this is the plan now. This is gonna end up something like that. Oh, look at it all later. That's close, man. I don't think that might be not even be a problem, because see how much far down that thing can go. This angle will probably be a problem, but that's another thing. Well, I didn't think about that, because you know, you don't want it to. You want it to just move past its tangent. So like right now, it's flat, and as it goes down, it just goes in. So you really kind of want it to be back a little like that, so that way it can move back and forth. You know, you want it to move like when it goes in, all the way up at the top, it should go in, then it should go out, and then back and down, it should be back in again. Ideally, so. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that. Cut it down, I don't know, or just, it's gonna stay out for a minute. That's kind of how I had it planned to begin with. I don't know. 15 inches is a lot of movement though. Let's go like that. That looks pretty cool. I'm not too worried about accessories or whatnot. I'll move it if necessary. Suspension is more important.
I like that camera in your face.
I love it. I'm pretending I can see. No matter what, we have to just get up mock-up so we can be able to have points on here where we're gonna make the right mounts. So I need to just have it temporary in here just so I can say, all right, I don't want to waste a lot of time when I'm gonna move it an inch or a half an inch or even an eighth of an inch. I'm gonna be able to just move it, but I'm gonna be able to do something fast where I can just tack it on, even if things aren't exactly where they need to be. Just we'll be able to get a better idea how it's all going to work. Make sure everything lines up. Right through this and put a tube with bushing inside that. There really won't even be a bushing up. Well, yeah, that way there won't be a bushing on here. Kind of want to use bushing, but I could just use Heim joints on the end of these too. And honestly, that's probably a better idea. It'll get done faster, and they say they're a little noisier on the street, but we're gonna make compromises when you're trying to three-wheel Winnebago. So all right, I'm just gonna make a plate now because I just cut these off and re-welded them so that it can be inside of these arms, so that way I can put it where I want. I can't just like slide it out to here because that's gonna put the wheel out too far. I don't like narrowing a Volkswagen. I need to keep it low enough or in far enough, so I'm gonna just weld or get an 1/8 inch plate and make an ear that we can tack weld here. It'll fit in between here, and then just drill. I have a hole drilled for that, so I can kind of come in and clamp it on there, get it where I want, tack it on, and then we'll make a bottom piece. And that one's gonna go real quick though, because I'm just gonna use the stock stuff and just extend it and make a bracket hang out here, just so we can test fit for all this stuff. Here's our only little issue, and I mean, I don't know if we can change it with when we do the other A-arms, but the frame is boxed out for whatever reason that may be, maybe for a big block or something. I don't know, but you know, I'm hitting right here, so it's not allowing it to go down enough. It's only moving 11 1/4 inches, so 11 inches, let's say. So, but I'm sure if I were to trim that piece off there, it'd drop that a little bit more, but I think that's pretty good because I'm gonna guess that's the area that I'm gonna be driving it mostly. Hopefully that'll put it on the ground, and then I can go all the way back up to stock height and do the 3-wheeling and all that. So I'm gonna just cut this out now. I'll box this whole piece back in later on, but I want to make sure it works. But this is like, it's gonna work out good, really good. Hold on. it's still smoldering a little bit. Woo! That's hot. We got our sweet little notch in there. I think it's gonna be fine now. Frame up here now. Hitting right there. In the corner of this stupid thing. They got some radiator support. But we'll just cut it off for now too. Okay. I cut it out. It's rubbing a little bit right here, but when I'm almost 100% positive. You're right there, it's rubbing. I'm about 100% positive that it's not exactly where it needs to be, and I don't want to just fiddle with it so much to make it perfect here when this is probably not where it's going to be exactly. So what I'll do is just leave it like that because I can get it to move. It moves, just rubs a little bit. I don't care about that. And then even at this height, it's only moving, I would say 13 inches, I think. It's out there. Well, 13 3/4, only 13 3/4. But we need 15. So it's not a big deal. Like if this is where it'll go, I can make the A-arm bend down a little bit like that, you know? So it'll clear the chassis, which is one of the things I wasn't certain about. So this is how we do it now. It's my center line is off a smidgen too. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter either. That's where it is sitting right now. We're gonna put it together like this just because we can check all of those things we wanted to check and then move it wherever it needs to go after this. Let's put the ball joint on here, and then we'll go get the lower A-arm, extend it, and then we'll set it up underneath here. It'll kind of hold up and then figure out something. This was the old stuff, but obviously I got to be back here somewheres now. So we just hold it up there, but we're gonna make the lower A-arm from the pivot to the holes exactly the same as this. So these two arms are the same length. Might not be the same width, but that doesn't matter. The same length is what matters. This is that long trophy truck suspension. All right, we'll find out. We got 17 and a half. That's not long enough. It ain't that far off. I mean, really, it's only that much longer for the bottom one. Sweet. That's not bad at all. What are we gonna weld on there? Got any great ideas?
Metal.
We'll go with that. How custom is that? Right?
Perfect.
21 3/4 is right about here. So we just weld it on and we'll drill a new hole. Doesn't have to be that big. This is just a look at
Just
it.
a test piece.
Just a test piece. Maybe I can get Rob to put the camera down for a freaking second and hold this tumbler.
What? Let me see if I can set it here.
Maybe you can mark, just use your other hand with the marker maybe.
Yeah, I'll set that right there.
Okay.
So I gotta get something to balance it.
Running out of
Crooked,
hands.
but that's alright. Oh, that's good. What do you want to do?
21 3/4. Just mark that 21 3/4 right there.
21.
3/4. That one. Yeah. The medium-sized lines.
I didn't know if it was. Alright, I'm done.
Good job, Rob. By hand. It's gonna work for all we need. Remember, all of this is going in the garbage. Exact. All right, here we go. Here's our temporary mount. I just bent those things on that angle just to clear right here as it goes up. I think I'm gonna have to cut this out anyway so it'll go higher. But that's okay. We'll just, it's temporary. These are gonna get welded right across the sides here where they're easy to break back off because I'm not using them. That'll look pretty cool. Now, after that, we can put the wheel on and try it. See how that goes. Probably be all disappointed. But it's all right. That's a step forward. Where it's touching again, the back, the lower A-arm where I just cut it. We got some more trimming to do, believe it or not.
It's close.
It's close. Yeah, see right there? Exactly right there. We're gonna have to we'll just notch the stupid A-arm because I'm not using it.
Am I getting the shot?
Yeah, look at that. Right there, thanks for the light. Let's cut this all out. Let's see what else we can catch on fire. I'm digging that. And it's not all the way up. Awesome. Alright, I think that's the bottom ball joint binding right there. So that means like the whole thing needs to come up a smidget more. Well, it's not far off. It's way better than it was. I'm not entirely disappointed with it. It's pretty awesome. For once, you know, I was measuring off of that, and it's, I'm not certain that that's not, I think that's what it is. So we just
hitting the floor?
I think it's hitting the floor. In front of the tires, kind of. Oh, that's okay. There's a little bit of room there, but it's touching up front. But I think the whole thing needs to come back a little bit anyways. Maybe not. But whatever. So, is that crazy? It's hitting the floor. So, we just...
Hit him with the floor because the ball joint's hitting it.
Yeah, the tire's not coming, not just the tire coming through the floor, the ball joint's coming through the floor. So mark on the carpet so we can get a nice precise cut. I want to lower it down and cut it now. I know we're running out of time. If you take a look at where the sun is. Yeah.
It's already hitting you inside.
I know, it's coming through this front window over here. It's really annoying me. Whoever invented the sun. I want to talk to him.
Just that carpet's not flammable.
See that? 31-inch tall tires. We're gonna keep the 31s. I think. Alright. That's it. The tire's touching a little on the front. I'm not certain if that bottom ball joint's binding, but that can be adjusted. I'm pretty sure everything's gonna work. Just as planned. Like we didn't think it was gonna work, right? We got the wheel up in there. I went out and checked out the other Winnebago, my smashed one, and this wheel's actually in further than the other one, which might help with steering, but I want it to be stable, obviously, so making it longer, I can either make the A-arms longer, which would help with the binding on the ball joints, which isn't a problem. I mean, it should work the way it is, but if I made it a little bit longer, it'd be a little bit better. Or I can move the pivots out, which might make it a little bit easier to make. So I'll think about that this week. I'll order up tubing to make the control arms and get all that set up. But as you can see, I'm in the sun now. So that's enough of that. We're done for the day. But I think it was a good day. Ow!